Good afternoon, dear students.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay. Good afternoon, students. So today we are going to discuss the other concept of biology, that is organisms and population. We are going to solve wide variety of questions on it. So as the chapter appears like a general concept, but there are many important terminologies in this chapter too. And they ask many applied questions on this chapter too, which may confuse you. So let us solve such type of questions. Before that, let us just brush up certain concepts on it. Let me begin. Please do respond and please be interactive while session is going on. Message your answers, chat your answers, ask your doubts. Okay. Fine. Just a minute. Okay. Whether the screen is visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Just a minute. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. So now there is brief introduction. The first one is introduction regarding the chapter Ecology. Ecology means it is a branch of science which study the relationship between organisms and their physical environment. In this, we are going to concentrate on the topics like what is organism, population, community, ecosystem, biosphere. Organism, a living organism, its interaction with the non-living things or the abiotic compounds around the environment. The next one is population. So organism together form the population. In this unit, we are going to concentrate on population dynamics and unit of evolution. Next, community. The number of population, the different population together, the population of dog, the population of other living organism, the population of human beings. So the different population forms a community. Next one is ecosystem. In this, we are going to concentrate on energy flux and nutrient cycle. The last one is biosphere. So ecological hierarchy, when we come, as I said, first organism, then the population, then the community. The study of interaction between the interrelationship of living organism with its environment is called ecology. It was first authentically used by Rita. It was first authentically used by a person named Rita. Aut ecology is the study of interrelationship of organism of a species. Synecology is the study of relation of the group of different species with their environment. Two branches we have here. Aut ecology, it is the study of interrelationship, the relationship between the organisms of particular species. Synecology is the study of relation of different species, group of different species with the environment. Then biotic community, we know, living components, abiotic community, non-living components. Then mainly the constituents of the environment or the ecology. The first one is the constituents of environment directly or indirectly influence the functioning or of the organism, the characteristic of the organism, the climate, the weather, the other abiotic components influence the living organism. So in that, these are called as environmental factors. In that, the first one is climate. It is the characteristic pattern of weather. Weather is what is today's weather. Climate is prolonged weather at a particular region is called as climate. So with regard to temperature, rainfall, pressure, humidity, and wind. The next one is habitat, the physical place where the organism lives in. The next one is microclimate and microhabitat. Microclimate means what? It is a subdivision of habitat which is called microhabit andre subdivision of microhabit. An immediate climate is called real climate of an organism which is different from the average climate. Example, forest floor, burrow and surface of desert. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ average real climate ಅಥವಾ microclimate ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? No doubt, forest ನಾವು ಅರಣ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ forest ಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ we feel cool, right? The place will be cold because of the shadow of the trees. ಹೌದಾ? But forest floor ಏನಿರತ್ತೆ? Forest floor ಅದರದ್ದು temperature ಅದು different ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ compared to the forest. So this micro change in the climate of variety of components of that environment is called microclimate. Fine, let us proceed with the next slide. In that we have biomes or terrestrial ecosystem. What do you mean by terrestrial ecosystem? The terrestrial part of biosphere is divisible into enormous region. Terrestrial part, the land part is divided into certain region which is termed as biomes. Biomes andre eno? Land certain division nahi convert ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು biomes ಅಂತ ಅಂತೀವಿ. No two biomes are alike. Two biomes ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇರಲ್ಲ. They are characterized by distinct climate, precipitation and temperature. Rainfall ಮತ್ತೆ temperature ಮೇಲೆ influence ಅಥವಾ depend ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. The climate determines the boundaries of biome and abundance of plants and animals found in each one of them. ಆ ಕ್ಲೈಮೇಟ್ ಆ ಪ್ಲೇಸಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕ್ಲೈಮೇಟ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅನುಗುಣವಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. ಸೊ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಬಯೋಮ್ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಡೆಸರ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಬಯೋಮ್, ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಬಯೋಮ್, coniferous forest is a biome, Arctic and alpine tundra is a biome, temperate forest is a biome, tropical forest is a biome. Biodistribution with respect to annual temperature and precipitation, rainfall. So these are the biomes, terrestrial biomes. Next, major biomes of India, very important. So major biomes nam India dalli yav ive anta andre Rajasthan desert, perpetually rain-soaked Meghalaya forests, then deep ocean trenches, torrential streams, permafrost polar regions, high mountain tops, boiling thermal springs, stinking compost pits, to name a few. Even our intestine is a unique habitat for hundreds of species of microbes. Even our intestine. Okay, great. Ecological niche word is given by Grini. Niche is a very important word. You will get questions on it. What do you mean by niche? It is a specific part of habitat occupied by individual of species, which is circumscribed by its range of tolerance, type of food, range of environment, microclimate, and shelter. Habitat andre the place where organism live. ಆ habitat ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು specific region ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು specific place ಇರುತ್ತೆ, which is occupied by a species. ಆ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, its range of tolerance. ಆ ಸ್ಪೀಶೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಆದ್ರೆ it can tolerate. It can the type of food will be present in that region. Range of environment, microclimate, shelter, etc. will be there in that particular or specific part. That specific part of habitat is called as niche. For example, Arctic fox and African jackal, both are scavengers. Scavengers means they feed on the dead organisms, dead animals. Grazers of North America, kangaroos of Australia. Okay, fine. Organisms that occupy same or similar ecological niche in different geographical regions are known as ecological equivalents. Arctic fox, polar region. African jackal, Africa. Okay, so they are in different geographical regions, guys. But both are scavengers. So such examples are called as ecological equivalents. Now, Let us stop brushing up certain concepts. Let us proceed the important questions. Be ready to answer the questions. Fine, let me share the first question of today, that is from biology, organisms and population. Let me see who will answer first. Please be interactive. Please be honest with your answers. The first question of today is, animals from colder climates generally have shorter limbs. This is called Allen's rule, Johnson's rule, Arbor's rule, Nietzsche's rule.
Option A, ma'am.
Okay, I got 3 messages.
Option A, ma'am.
Balakrishna, Varsha, Ramya, Teju. Fine.
Ma'am, it's option
Viresh,
A, Allen's rule.
Pavitra, Saundarya, Pratibha. Okay. Vidya, Madhu. Fine. So most of you voted for option A, that is Allen's rule. Option A, that is Allen's rule. Okay, Deepti Young also voted for Allen's rule. Let us check the answer. Option A, Allen's rule is the right answer. Great. Let us proceed with the second question. Niche is defined as a component of an ecosystem, an ecologically adapted zone of a species, the physical position and functional role of a species within the community. B, all plants and animals living at the bottom of water body. Read the question properly and answer carefully. Niche is defined as. Just now we discussed the meaning of niche. Yes.
Option C. Option C, ma'am.
Balakrishna answered as option C.
Option
Hemashri option C. Dyuti option C. Deepti Yam option C. Viresh, Navin Kumar, Ramya, Pavitra, Madhu. Fine. Saundarya, Gauramma, Shashi, Teju. Okay. Most of you voted for option C. What about YouTube students? Bhumika. Yes. Yes, YouTube students, what is your response? Fine. Let us check the answer. Option C, that is the physical position and functional role of a species within a community. It is the definition of niche. Good. Third question. If natality is balanced by mortality in a population at a given time, there will be A or an. Natality is balanced with the mortality. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ ಒಂದು ಗಿವನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಟಾಲಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಮಾರ್ಟಾಲಿಟಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಎದುರಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಎ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಸೈಜ್, ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಸೈಜ್, zero population growth, option D population explosion. Request, please don't send your answer before I complete reading the options. Once I complete reading all the options, then message your answer. Because if you know the answer, it is well and good. Some people will not be knowing the answer. By seeing the messages itself, they will reply A or B. They will not think over, they will not concentrate on question also. So for that, I request, please message your answer once I complete reading the option. Okay, I got 21 messages. Soumya, Bhumika, Deepti, Madhu, Dyuti, Vidya, Saundarya, Pavitra, Preeti, Lohit Kumar, then, okay, fine. So, most of you voted for zero population growth. Natality, antandre, the newborn, the borning of a new organisms. Mortality, the death rate, the birth rate, the death rate. When they are equal, what it influences on population? Most of you answered as option C, zero population growth. Option C is a right answer. Congratulations. Fine. Fourth question goes like this, guys. Mycorrhiza is an example of parasitism. Option B, mutualism. Option C, endoparasitism. Option D, predation. Fine. Anku, Hemashri,
Option B,
Saundarya, Pavitra, Naveen, Gauramma, Viresh, Lohit, Preeti, Teju, Jyoti, Ramya, Vidya, and then Mallikarjun, Pratibha, Madhu. Great. Very quick responses. Rakshita, Saumya, Naral. Great. Vanita. Fine. Very happy for the interaction. The answer is mycorrhiza is an example of ectoparasitism. Most of you answered as option B, mutualism. Right. Option B is the right answer. Can anyone tell me which are the two organisms will be in a mutualistic relationship in mycorrhiza?
Relationship between fungi and root of the plants.
Yes.
Relationship between the fungi and root of higher plants.
Okay. Fungi and roots of higher plants. Okay. Fifth question, the interspecific interaction in which one partner is benefited and other is unaffected. It is not killed, it is not spoiled, it is unbenefited. It will not get any benefit. It remains neutral. So such a reaction, such interaction is termed as option A, amensalism, option B, mutualism, option C, competition, option D, commensalism. T. Rakshita, Pratibha, Hemashri, Naveen Kumar, Bhumika, Balakrishna, Saundarya, Jyoti, S. Harshita, Teju, Varsha, Veeresh, Madhu, Likhita, Rajeshwari, Vanita. Okay. Most of them answered as option D. Some of them answered as option A, amensalism or commensalism. Okay, let us check the answer. The answer is option D, that is commensalism. So in commensalism, what happens? The interaction of the two living organisms where one will be benefited, the other will be neutral. So that is called as commensalism. Let us brush up certain concepts again. Give me a minute. I want to check my audio. Okay. Whether my voice is audible?
Yes, ma'am. It's audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Just a minute. Okay. The next question, the next concept is here. Fine. Ecological niche coined by Grinnell that we discussed. Next, major abiotic factor in that water. Okay, in that water. Can anyone read out the slide, please?
Water is an important component of protoplasm. Water is a resource, a condition, and a habit in itself. The productivity and distribution of plant is dependent on water. Some organisms are tolerant of wide range of salinities, but others are restricted to narrow range.
Fine. So So water is an important component of protoplasm. It is a resource, a condition, and a habitat in itself. For many aquatic organisms, water is a habitat. The productivity and distribution of plants is dependent on water. Some organisms are tolerant to wide range of salinity. Salinity means salt content. So such organisms are called urhaline, but others are restricted to narrow range. Such organisms are called stenohaline, urihaline and stenohaline based on the salinity, salt content. Next, the next abiotic factor is temperature. Okay, a few organisms can tolerate and thrive in a wide range of temperature. Such organisms are called as eurythermal. Please do remember the terms, guys. But the vast majority of them are restricted to a narrow range. Means they will not adapt what we can say a variable range of temperature. If the temperature varies much, can't adapt. Such organisms are called as stenothermal. On the basis of temperature, vegetation is divided into vegetation, megatherms, mesotherms, microtherms, hecistotherms. Plants, vegetation means plants. So plants growing in high temperature are called megatherms. So such plants we can observe in tropical rain forest. Megatherms are observed in tropical rain forest. Then mesotherms. Mesotherms are the plants growing in alternate high and low temperature. Means they can adapt to high temperature as well as quite low temperature also. Such plants are called as mesotherms. This kind of plants we will see in deciduous as well as tropical forest. The next one is microtherms. Microtherms means plants growing in low temperature, not high temperature, low temperature. Example, coniferous forest. The next one is hecistotherms, plant growing in very low temperature. Example, alpine vegetation. Alpine vegetation. Megatherms, mesotherms, microtherms, hecistotherms. Vegetation is divided on the basis of temperature. Next one is light. Light intensity, light direction, and light quality matters for the biotic components. The first and foremost thing is plant. The main process, photosynthesis, the source energy of the biosphere lies under photosynthesis. So photo means what? Light. So that much important role played by the light. So in deep lake, zonation or stratification may be according to the need of light. The different zones of light in aquatic habitat. So in aquatic habitat, there are different zones. Littoral zone, littoral, shallow coastal region producers occur throughout. Limnatic zone, open water zone, oxygen and light decreases with depth. Photic zone, light can penetrate to that region, light can go to that region. Aphotic zone, light does not penetrate. Aphotic zone andre alli light penetrate agalla. Benthic zone, it is called bottom zone. Bottom zone. So this is regarding the other abiotic factor. The next one is soil. The study of soil is called ecology. Okay, it is derived from rocks by weathering, which is of three types. Three types of weathering are there: chemical, mechanical, physical. Chemical by oxidation, hydrolysis or carbonation. Mechanical, lichens, grazing or earthworm. Physical, water, wind, gravity and glaciers. Okay, by the weathering of rocks, soil is formed. Soil profile we should know. O horizon, humus on the ground surface. A horizon, topsoil. Then also called as leaching. Then zone of leaching antanu karitare. B horizon, it is a subsoil, also called as accumulation, may contain soluble minerals. C horizon, weathered bedrock or a rotten rock. Bedrock lies below the soil profile. OABC. OABC. Fine? Okay. Yeah. Regarding Bergrum, responses to abiotic factors, how the organisms respond to abiotic factors, depending on that, there are certain rules. Before that, there is a term which is called as homeostasis. It is the maintenance of constant internal environment, in response to changes in the abiotic factor, that is external environment. The various responses to abiotic factor are regulated, confirm, migrate, and suspend. Let us read out these rules later and let us solve some questions again now. Yeah, just a minute. Fifth question we solved. Sixth question. Yeah. The sixth question goes like this, guys. Please be interactive. The ability to maintain internal favorable conditions by a self-regulated mechanism despite the changes in environment. The ability to maintain internal favorable condition despite the changes in environment. That ability is called as option A, entropy, option B, enthalpy, option C, homeostasis, option D, steady state. I request
Option
again,
C.
Option C, ma'am.
Okay. Option C, most of them answered through my mic. Thank you. And I request once again, until I complete reading all the options, please don't answer in the chat box. Most of them answered as option C in the chat box, that is homeostasis, the concept which we discussed before the question itself just now. Videsh, Deeptiyam, Vidya Rajeshwari, Varsha, Pavitra, Bhumika, Lokit, most of them answered as option C, that is homeostasis is the right answer. Good. What is observed on July 11th? Option A, World Population Day. Option B, No Tobacco Day. Option C, World Environment Day. Option D, World Health Day. What is observed on July 11th?
Option A.
Option A.
Option A. T. Rakshita, Bhumika, Deepti, Likhita, Preeti, Saundarya, Teju, Rajeshwari, Viresh, Varsha, Pratibha, Kanchana Raj, Vidya. Okay. Option A. Okay. The right answer is option A, that is World Population Day. World Population Day. Gaurama also answered through chat box. Great. Eighth question. In which of the following cases are an organism and its kind of association a matching pair? ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಆರ್ಗಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದರ ಮುಂದ್ಗಡೆ ದ ಇಂಟರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದೋಸ್ ಆರ್ಗಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಪೇರು, ಮ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಪೇರ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. Until I read the question, please don't answer. Option A, shark and suckerfish, commensalism. Algae and fungi in lichens, mutualism. Orchids growing on trees, parasitism. Option D, cuscuta, that is dodder, growing on another flowering plant, which shows epiphytism. Which is correct pair, matching pair among the options? Okay, Chandru, Preeti, Hemashri, Kanchana Raj, Naveen Kumar, Balakrishna Teju, S. Harshita, Viresh, Bhumika, right? Quick answers. Good. Lakshmi, fine. Anku, Deepti, Ramya, Varsha. Okay. So, most of them answered as option B, algae and fungi in lichens is mutualism. Can anyone tell me what is the relation between shark and suckerfish? You can message your answer.
Mutualism.
Yes. I couldn't hear you. Try ಮಾಡಿ. ತಪ್ಪು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಬೈಯಲ್ಲ. Okay. Mutualism. Fine.
Mutualism.
Okay, Hemashri. Thank you. Saundarya answered through chat. Yeah. Anku and Bhumika. Fine. What about C, orchids growing on trees? What is that relationship is called as interaction?
Commensalism.
Orchids growing on trees.
Ma'am, mutualism. Mutualism.
Mutualism, huh?
Ma'am,
It is not parasitism. Cuscuta growing on other flowering plant, adu parasitism. Orchids epiphytism agate. It is growing on the bark of another flowering plant where it is not harming that plant. It is absorbing the moisture from the atmosphere and then it is growing. It is just taking the place of that plant. So it is called epiphytism. Epi means outside the body of another organism. Epiphytism. Okay, fine. Great. Most of you answered it correctly as option B. Good. Ninth question. Which of the following best describes the Great Barrier Reef along the east until I complete reading? Options don't answer. Which of the following best describes the Great Barrier Reef along the east coast of Australia? Option A, population. Option B, community. Option C, ecosystem. Option D, biome. Fine.
Option B, ma'am.
Option B, ma'am.
Option B, Likita, Veeresh, Jyoti, Anku, Teju, Pavitra, Saundarya, Vidya, Saumyanara, Lohit, Deepti. Okay. Most of them answered as option B. Some of them selected option C. Let us see who is correct. Option C, that is ecosystem, is a right answer. Ecosystems. Fine. 10th question. Which of the following represents an organism and its ecological niche correctly? Organism ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ecological niche ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. Vallisneria and pond, desert locust and desert, plant lice and leaf, vultures and dense forest. Think over it and answer. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದರದ್ದೇ ನಿಚ್ಚೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾವ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯಾವ ನಿಚ್ಚೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವುದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಪೇರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಐ ಗಾಟ್ 6 ಮೆಸೇಜಸ್. ಕಾಂಚನ, ಗೌರಮ್ಮ, ಸೌಂದರ್ಯ, ಬಾಲಕೃಷ್ಣ, ಲೋಹಿತ್, ಹೇಮಶ್ರೀ, ದೀಪ್ತಿ, ಸೌಮ್ಯನಾರಾಯಣ್, ವೀರೇಶ್, ಲಿಖಿತಾ. ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್? ದೆನ್ ಪವಿತ್ರ. Okay. Most of them answered as option B, and few of them, very few of them, got a doubt with option C. Fine, let us check. The right answer is option C, plant lice and leaf. Its ecological niche is the right answer. Then, okay, let us brush up certain concepts again. Oh, sorry. Okay. Saundarya R, can you read the slide related to Bergman rule? The first rule, can you read out, please?
Bergman rule: birds and mammals attain greater body size in colder regions and lesser in warmer regions.
Okay, thank you. So Bergman rule andre birds ಮತ್ತೆ mammals attain greater body size. Colder region ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ body size ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, lesser ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. Then Allen's rule. Soumya Naral, can you read out Allen's rule, please?
Yes, ma'am. Animals from colder climate generally have shorter ears and limbs to minimize heat loss.
Good. Allen's rule. Thank you, Soumya. Then Likhita, can you read out Jordan's rule? Are you here, Likhita?
Yes, ma'am. Fishes occurring in a cold water have more vertebrae than the found in the warmer water.
Thank you. Lohit, are you here? Can you read out Glogger's rule?
Yes, ma'am. Animals of tropic region are more darker in color and heavily pigmented than those in Arctic region.
Thank you. Then Rensis rule. Balakrishna, can you please read out Rensis rule?
Yes, miss.
Yeah.
Birds in colder region have narrow wings than those found in the warm region.
Okay. So these are most important rule, guys. Please take the screenshot or else write down. Okay. So regarding that, you will get one question compulsory. Okay. So just now we discussed the question on Allen's rule. Fine. Fine. Shall we proceed to the next slide? Yeah. Responses to abiotic factors ಅಲ್ಲಿ regulators ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. Some organisms are able to maintain homeostasis internal environment which ensures body temperature at constant osmotic concentration. All birds and mammals, very few lower vertebrates and invertebrates are regulators. They can regulate thermoregulation, osmoregulation. A good example they have given here, guys. Human beings maintain their body temperature by sweating in summer, by shivering in during winter. This is called as regulation. Plants not have such mechanism to maintain internal temperature. Next, conformers. Kanchana Raj, are you here? Can you read out first 2 points, please?
Yes, ma'am. Majority of animals or nearly all plants cannot maintain a constant internal environment. Their body temperature changes with the ambient temperature. In aquatic animals, the osmotic concentration of the body fluids change with that of the ambient water and osmotic concentration.
Okay, thank you. So here, majority of animals and nearly all plants cannot maintain that internal environment. They may change their body temperature according to the ambient temperature of the environment, as well as in the aquatic animals related to the osmotic concentration of the water. They may change the concentration of their body fluids. Yes, again, I want Veeresh. Can you read out the third and fourth point, please? Veeresh. Okay. Samarth, can you read out third and fourth point? Yes. Yes, Harshita, can you read out first, third and fourth point, please?
Thermoregulate energy expensive process area. Small animals are
Voice
not
is not
found in
clear.
the
Okay, fine. The voice is not clear. Some species have evolved the ability to regulate, but only over limited range environmental condition belong which they simply conform. Thermoregulation is energy expensive process. Heat loss or gain is a function of that area. Therefore, small animals are not found in polar region because thermoregulation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ವೇಸ್ಟೆಡ್. That is why in the polar region, the small animals will not be there. Partial regulators. So this is an internal level, this is an external level. Conformers to regulators, partial regulators. Hairs on the body acts as heat insulators. In smaller organisms, the surface area is large as compared to the volume. But in large animals, this ratio is small. Smaller organism ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ನ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ. ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So the larger animals effectively control the body temperature than compared to the smaller animals. The fourth one is migration. The organism can move away temporarily from a stressful habitat to a more comfortable area and then again return to the stressful period. Suspension. Organisms that cannot migrate suspend their metabolic function during stressful period. It is called suspension. For example, frog ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ವಿಂಟರ್ ಸೀಸನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಮ್ಮರ್ ಸ್ಲೀಪ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಿಂಟರ್ ಸ್ಲೀಪ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಮೈಗ್ರೇಟ್. ಇಲ್ಲೇನೋ ಚಳಿ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಪ್ಪ, ನಾನು ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ದೇ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಮೈಗ್ರೇಟ್. ಅವಾಗ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಸಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಮೆಟಾಬಾಲಿಕ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಮೆಟಾಬಾಲಿಕ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ ಸಸ್ಪೆನ್ಷನ್, ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ. Hibernation, estivation, diapause. Fine. Next. Hibernation andre, as I said, animals avoid the stress to become inactive during winter. Polar bear, frogs, lizards. Estivation antandre, inactive during summer. Snails and fishes as well as some of the frogs. Diapause andre, it is a stage of suspended development seen in many zooplanktons to avoid unfavorable condition. ಇದು aquatic organisms ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡುಬರುತ್ತೆ. Zooplanktons ಅಂದ್ರೆ the smaller animals which are present in the aquatic habitat, they suspend their development. They will not develop further. So ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಜಿಗೆ diapause ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Yes, regarding the adaptation, we will brush up again. Now, let us solve some questions again now. Oh, just a minute. Yeah. 11th question. The number of birds in polygamous population is often directly related to. Polygamous population alli number of birds ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ relate ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? Number of males, number of females, both A and B, none of these. Polygamous population. Please be fast.
Number of females.
Number of females. Okay. Yeah, someone answered. I could not see the name. Who answered through mic? Okay. He said number of females. Yuti, Veeresh, Dalbanjan, Madhu. Then who answered again? Rajeshwari, Naveen Kumar, Balakrishna, Saundarya. Some of them voted for option B. Some of them voted for option D. Varsha, Vidya. Okay, fine. Kanchana Raj, fine. Let us see the answer. Option B, number of females is the right answer. Polygamous population alli number of birds will be related to the number of females. Next. Genetic drift operates in option A, large isolated population, B, slow reproductive population, C, small isolated population, D, fast reproductive population. Genetic drift ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಆಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? I got only one message. Lohit answered as option C. Great, very quick answer, Lohit. Saundarya are voted for C. Yuti, Rajeshwari, Veeresh, Pavitra, Naveen Kumar, Bhumika, Balakrishna, Kanchana Raj, Teju. Great, very quick answers. Vidya, fine. Okay. Most of them voted for option C, that is small isolated population. VM Dalbanjan, Madhu B. Someone voted for option C. Yes. Okay. Balakrishna, Bhumika, Naveen voted for option C. Few of them voted for option B. Right. Let us check the answer. Option C, small isolated population alli genetic drift agutte. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by genetic drift in a simple words? You can say through mic, otherwise you can message me your answer. Genetic drift andre enu? You can say in Kannada also. Anyone? If you can't speak up, please message at least chat box, message through a chat box. Yes. CET ಬಂದಂತ ಥಿಯರಿನೇ ಮರೆತುಬಿಟ್ರೆ CET ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ನ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಡ್ರಿಫ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? The sudden fallback. Okay. Preeti
Random number of gene varieties in the population.
Fine. Great. Thank you. Preeti and Lohit answered through message. Kanchana Raj attempted through mic. Okay, the sudden fallback of gene frequency, change in frequency of an existing gene population. Both of the answers and all the answers are correct. So the change in gene frequency called as genetic drift. 13th question goes like this, guys. The rate of individuals born per 1000 individuals per year is called as 1000 individual ಗೆ per year born ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ? Mortality rate, growth rate, vital rate, natality rate. Be fast. Lohit, very quick response. Great. Anku, fine. What about others? Yuti, Balakrishna, Kanchana, T. Rakshita, Gauramma, Naveen Kumar. Likita, Veeresh, Madhu, Soumya, Preeti, Pratibha, Teju, Pavitra, Saundarya, VM Dalbanjan, okay. Yashwant, Samar, Varsha, Rajeshwari, Vidya, Hemashri. Most of them voted for option B, growth rate. Individuals per year born. Option D, natality rate is the right answer. No one answered option D, I guess. ಅಲ್ಲೇನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು ಗ್ರೋತ್ ರೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ. ದೇ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ಇಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಬೆಳಿತಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆಯನ್ನ ಹೊಂದ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ರೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ನೆಟಾಲಿಟಿ ರೇಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಾರ್ನ್, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬಾರ್ನ್, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅಸ್ natal natality rate refers to infants just born. Human population follows J-shaped growth curve, Z-shaped growth curve, S-shaped growth curve, all of the above. Yes.
Option C.
Option C. Lohit answered through mic as option C. Good response. Duty, Saundarya, Ankur, Kanchana, Naveen Kumar, T. Rakshita, Lohit, Preeti, Pavitra. Okay, Soumya, fine. Madhu, Veeresh. Most of them answered it correctly. Option C, S-shaped growth curve is the right answer. Fine. This semi-log of per minute growing bacteria is plotted against time. What will be the shape of the graph? Understand the question properly. Semi-log of per minute growing bacteria. ಅದನ್ನ ಟೈಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಹೇಗ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? A sigmoid, B hyperbolic, C ascending straight line, D descending straight line. Lohit, Gauramma, okay, answered quickly through chat. Naveen Kumar, Balakrishna, T. Rakshita, Jyoti, Anku, Saundarya, Veeresh, Madhu, Kanchana Raj, Pavitra, Lakshmi. Most of them answered Likita. Most of them voted for option C. One of them voted for option B. Fine. Okay. The right answer is option C, ascending straight line. Ascending straight line. 16th question. The relationship between a climber and a host corresponds to climber, Balli. A, neutralism, B, commensalism, C, parasitism, D, mutualism. Relationship between a climber and a host corresponds to. Hemashri voted for option B. Anku voted for option B. Saundarya D. Preeti D. Rakshita D. Veeresh B. Naveen C. Balakrishna B. Parasitism C. Think Madi. Who answered as option C? Think over it. D. Soumya Nara. Okay, Kanchana Raj. Option A. Okay. Jyoti. Option D. Likita. Option B. Okay, most of them are confused with the question. Rajeshwari, option D. Parasitism ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಬಳ್ಳಿ ಬೇರೆ ಗಿಡದ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ it will not parasite. I mean only in the case of kaskuta. Kaskuta ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ you can select option C as parasitism. So some of them have a confusion between A, B as well as some of them confused with B and D. Let us check the answer. The right answer is option B, commensalism, where one organism, that climber, will be benefited because it will get the support, and the other plant on which it climbed or the host, it will not be benefited, it will not be harmed also. The right answer is commensalism. Fine. Let us proceed with the concepts again. Okay. The next thing is adaptation. The first we have plant adaptation, hydrophytes, xerophytes, mesophytes. Hydrophytes andre aquatic plants, xerophytes which grow in dry condition, higher temperature, mesophytes andre which grow with a normal water range. Then okay, then hydrophytes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ 5 types ಇದೆ. Free floating, you should only focus on the Examples, guys. Free floating andre they are not rooted in the soil. This all definition you know. Suspended, it remains underwater but not rooted in the mud. Utricolia bladderwort. Submerged, rooted hydrophytes remain underwater and rooted. Hydrilla, Vallisneria, Potamogeton, Elodia. Fixed floating hydrophytes, these have fixed roots in mud. Trapa, Nymphia, Victoria. Emergent, in these plants the root is fixed, the stem remains partly or completely exposed to air. Example, Juncus typha sagittaria. Fine. Then plants grow in dry condition. Dryness is of two types. One physical dryness anta heltare, innondu physiological dryness. Physical andre alli water quantity kadame irutte. Then physiological andre optimum water is present in that place, but due to some region plants will not observe it. For example, high salinity, salt content ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ, temperature kadame ಇದ್ದರೆ, that time the plant cannot absorb the water. That is called physiological dryness. Xerophytes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿವೆ. Samophyte, lithophyte, chasmophyte, halophyte, epiphyte, psychrophyte. Samophyte ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡ್ರೈ ಸ್ಯಾಂಡಿ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ನಿಯರ್ ದ ರಿವರ್ ಹತ್ರ. Lithophytes ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ grow on rock. Litho refers to rock, guys. Chasmo ಅಂದ್ರೆ grow in rock slit. ಬಂಡೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಡುವೆ ಕ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಗಿಡಗಳು ಬಂದ್ರೆ chasmophyte ಅಂತಾರೆ. Halophyte, you know, halo refers to salt. Epiphyte, they grow on other plant. Find orchids. Just now we discussed that question, right? The next one is Psychrophyte, they grow in cold soil. Next, animal adaptation we have. In that we have two examples over here. 1 minute. Yeah. Hemashri, can you read out the second point regarding desert lizard, please?
Yes, ma'am. Desert lizards keep their body temperature fairly constant by behavioral means. They bask in the sun and absorb heat when their body temperature drops below the comfort zone, but move into shades when the ambient temperature starts increasing.
Okay. So if desert lizards keep their body temperature fairly constant, they bask in sun and absorb heat when their body temperature drops, but move into shade when the ambient temperature increases. The next one is kangaroo rat. It excretes solid urine and can live from birth to death without drinking water, thereby conserving the water. Kangaroo rat, not kangaroo. Okay. Then. Fine. Okay. So this is, yes, any doubt? Fine. Let us solve few more questions. 17th question. Who is this? Okay. 17th question. Amensalism is an association between two species where one species is harmed and other is benefited. One species is harmed and other is unaffected. C. One species is benefited and other is unaffected. D. Both the species are harmed. Amensalism andre ಏನು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Option B, ma'am. One species is harmed and other is unaffected.
Okay, Anku, Saundarya, Saumya answered through Mike. Varsha, Naveen, Likita, Veeresh voted for option B. Hemashri, Madhu.
Option B, ma'am.
Option D. Both the
Option
species.
B, ma'am. B.
Okay, B. VM, Dalbanjan, Madhu, B. Alagwadi, S. Harshita. Fine. Okay. Most of them answered as option B. That is, one species is harmed, the other species is affected. Sorry, is unaffected. Let us check the answer. Option B is the right answer. Question number 18. The relationship between alga cladoflora and the snail shell on which it grows corresponds to. Cladoflora ಮತ್ತೆ snail shell ನಡುವೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಂತ relationship ಇದೆ? Neutralism, predation, commensalism, mutualism. Yes. Lohit option C, Gauramma option D, T Rakshita, Saundarya, Veeresh, Naveen. Okay, most of them voted for option C, that is commensalism. It is right answer. Okay. 19th question. Listens are the associations of bacteria and fungus, algae and bacterium, fungus and algae, fungus and virus.
Option C, ma'am. Fungus and algae.
Fungus and algae.
Option C, fungus and algae is the right answer. Question number 20. Magnolia and oaks occur in the following zone. Magnolia ಮತ್ತೆ oaks ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? Tropical, subtropical, alpine, temperate. Tropical, subtropical, alpine, temperate. Yes, who is going to answer this first? Magnolia and oaks. Naveen, Anku.
Option C, ma'am.
Option C. Alpine. Okay.
Ma'am, option D.
Okay. Option D is the right answer. That is temperate zone. Magnolia and oaks. So this is about the questions on organism and population. Tomorrow also we are going to discuss some of the question on this topic. Okay, because the topic is vast. So I'm taking the same lesson or same chapter tomorrow. Okay. I think the session is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you enjoy the session?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Lohit, you suggested regarding the difficulty level of the question. Did you get any improvement today? Lohit, are you satisfied with the difficulty level of questions today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let us end up the session.
ಅವಾಗ ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.